And good evening, everybody, and welcome here as we get ready for our sixth race of our second season of the NNSCRA Hershey's Cup Series. We're here live tonight under the lights at Texas Motor Speedway, getting ready to go racing under the lights at a 1.5 mile speedway, V-shaped 1.5 mile speedway, I should say. Now, Atlanta was a really doggone good race, so I'm expecting we're going to have good racing here. And from what we saw in knockout qualifying when they got into a pack, the racing's going to be hot and heavy, with a lot of passing, hopefully, for the lead. Green flag pit stops could also come into play. It will be 51 laps of racing here tonight with Kyle Matthews sitting on the pole position. Now, Kyle Matthews already locked into the chase by winning the Daytona 500. He's the pole sitter for tonight's race, and he's the points leader coming into tonight's event as well. So it's been a great season so far for the driver of the 09 out of Retro Racing Enterprises. Three drivers are making their debuts here tonight. Zachary Stoltz rolling off from 6th to his inside. Davey Johnson starting off in 5th. And Kat Tellier starting, I believe that's from the 13th position. So we'll see how they do in their debut races. As you look on the left side, or right side of your screen, I should say, that's the 16 drivers. If the chase were to start now, that would be locked in, including our 5 previous race winners. Let's get the command to fire the engines up.
Driver, start your engine!
So there's the command to fire them up, and as you can see, the 5 winners, Kyle Matthews, Charles Sanford, Levi McIntyre, Zachary Fitzwater, and last week's winner at Bristol Dirt, Benjamin Miles. Those right now are the drivers that are currently locked into the chase. We'll see if we're going to have a 6th driver lock themselves into the chase for the championship with a win here tonight at Texas. Also want to make just one quick note. This is a different Texas from what Knockout Q was. I ran from, I think it was like lap 1 to lap 34, the first round of green flag pit stops at the track that I did knockout qualifying at, and there's a glitch where they keep coming to pit road, so we switched the track up. It's still a night Texas track, and hopefully we'll still have good racing. The top 10 in points, not the chase, but the points coming into this race. Kyle Matthews, as I said, is the points leader by only 1 point over Grayson Acavito, 5 points over Cody Lamas, so it's still really close for the points lead. Dallas McIntosh is 4th in points. He's had a great season so far, as has Jessica Shelton, who's trying to complete the sweep, put all 3 Retro Racing Enterprises cars in victory lane this season. Zachary Fitzwater is 6th in points, James Richardson 7th, Joshua Michaels 8th, Emmanuel Hartnett 9th, and Daniel Voiles in 10th. Out of the top 10 in the points standings coming into this race, only 2 of those drivers have been to victory lane this season. Matthews, the points leader, and Fitzwater in 6th. Everybody else still looking for their first win of the season. For some of them, their first win of their Hershey's Cup Series career. Here we go then. 51 laps of racing await us. Kyle Matthews leads rookie John Andrews down to the line. The flagman's ready. The green flag's in the air, and we're underway here tonight at Texas. Kyle Matthews inside line, the preferred racing line for passing, and he will move to the front. Daniel Voiles into 2nd. Davey Johnson now looking for 3rd. John Andrews trying to find a place down the inside line in line, but it's a whole snake on that inside line with Johnson, Galligan, Leon Alvarez, no room to be able to move down, and Kyle Matthews leads the first lap of the evening. There's another bonus point for the points leader coming into this race. Voiles 2nd, Galligan now shoots to 3rd. Big run there through the middle of turns 1 and 2, and he'll use that momentum to go to the inside for 2nd on Daniel Voiles. So far, 5 races this season, all 5 won by different drivers, but all veterans. We have yet to have a rookie go to victory lane this season, and Sean Galligan, man, he gets a heck of a run out of the corners, and he led that lap actually by a splitter. Kat Tellier in her debut here tonight, now into 2nd place. 2 of the KAV Motorsports cars making this race, along with the 73 of Keith Batson. Zach Flickinger now moves into the 3rd position, as Galligan may have company on the inside line momentarily. Here comes Kat Tellier for the lead, trying to lead her first lap of her career in her first start. Trying to get it done. Here comes Dougie Shears. Look at the run he got through the middle of the corner. Big run down at turn number 2. Will he try and make it 3 wide going into 3? Not this time, but man, he probably could have. Here comes Chris Dodd in the 08. Great run so far early on for the Wrangler Chevrolet is at the line. Tellier does lead that lap. First lap led of her career in the Hershey's Cup Series. Now Dougie Shears to the front. It's the first time Dougie Shears has made a race since race number 2 at Rockingham, UK. He made the season opener Daytona 500. He also ended up making the following race at Rockingham, UK, where he lost the lead when the engine blew up while he was out in front. Since then, he has DNQ'd every race, but finally making his 3rd start of the season for Fitzwater Australia Racing, and they are backed up behind him, backed up so much they're going to go 3 wide. Chris Dodd put in the middle, Srigley to the bottom, Tellier up to the high side. They are racing hot and heavy up here at the front all the way through this field. Somehow we have remained green. As Dougie Shears leads the way, here comes Joshua Michaels in the 10 car, up to 8th in the points standings, that single car team out of Rage Motorsports. Now he was a former winner last season, holding the pole and the win at Pocono Raceway. Looking for his first win of the season here. His win last year, he was a go or go homer, so he did not make the chase for the championship. If he can win here, he's a chartered car, and he would make the chase. Brandon Gonzalez, the Mitsubishi Lancer, moves to 2nd place now underneath Keith Batson. Shears now battling back towards the front again, now goes to 3rd. He's not satisfied with that. Here he comes to the inside for 2nd off Brandon Gonzalez. And here comes a former winner this season, Levi McIntyre, a winner at Las Vegas. He's following in the tire tracks of the 21. John Art there as well, and here comes a driver that's only 5 points out of the points lead. That is Cody Lamas. And look who's right behind him, Dylan Young in the 2, who started this race, if I'm not mistaken, from the 40th position. And all of a sudden, he's already up here, now into the top 10. So Dylan Young fighting and clawing his way to the front early. Only took him about 9 laps to get from the final few rows up here into the top 5. Now trying to take the 4th position away from his teammate in the 99, Levi McIntyre. John Art moving into 2nd place. We know he has a strong race car. He was really good in the first round of knockout qualifying here a couple nights ago. Now he gets freight trained on the high side as Brandon Gonzalez, Dylan Young, James Qualls now move by along with Levi McIntyre. How about that 70 car of James Qualls? Great run for him. Former pole sitter this season back at, I believe it was Rockingham, UK. Right now running very well in that 3rd position. Right now up here at the front of the field, the top 3, the 10, the 70, and the 23 were all go or go home drivers last season. They're all chartered cars this year with an opportunity to try and win here tonight at Texas and lock themselves up a spot in the chase. What a difference a year makes. Speaking of last year, how about last year's champion, Anthony McCrory? Here he comes up the inside line. He's now moved his way, I believe, into the top 10. See where they score him this time by. He was 12th last time by. This time by, they score him in 9th, and he actually just ran his fastest lap of the race there as well. Ryan Madden now going to move by, and there goes Charles Sanford, our winner from a couple weeks ago at yet another D-shaped mile-and-a-half racetrack. That was Atlanta. Now he's up here towards the front, trying to go 2 for 2 in mile-and-a-half starts. They're 3 wide behind him there. Srigley, McCrory, Brandon Gonzalez getting freight train. Battle on for 2nd. James Qualls to the bottom on Dylan Young. He'll move into 2nd place. Here comes Carson Scott in the 38. Along with Ryan Madden trying to get the inside line moving. They'll try and take 3rd and 4th place away from the Young Motorsports teammates, Dylan Young and Levi McIntyre. All this going on behind Joshua Michaels, and so far we have been clean and green since the start of this race, which means these drivers are going to have to at some point start thinking about green flag pit stops. Qualls, though, he's thinking about the lead, and he's going to get it pretty doggone easily clearing out of turn number 2 for the top position. Michaels slips back to 2nd, and the driver out of Joanna Atwood Motorsports, the number 70 of James Qualls, now leads the way. Here comes Dallas McIntosh. Remember, we talked about the season he's been having, up to 4th in the point standings, and right now he's working his way up. He's now into the top 5, crossed the line that time by in the 4th position. Great run right now for that Cheez-It Ford. Yet another driver who last season was a go or go homer. Carson Scott now moving to the bottom of the racetrack for 2nd place off James Qualls, who lost the lead back to Joshua Michaels. Now these drivers are going to have to start thinking about green flag pit stops, and if my calculations are correct, they're going to have to start thinking about those pit stops somewhere around between laps 25 to 28. That's somewhere within the next 9 to 11 laps, 9 to 12 laps actually. And if I'm not mistaken, I think then that should set them up to be good to go on fuel the remainder of the way. Battle on for the lead, Joseph Srigley to the inside line for the top position. And here comes rookie Keith Batson in the 73. McCrory fighting back to the front. Brandon Gonzalez is coming back, and there's the rookie Cole Baker in the 18 as well. New leader, the 05. Owner-driver of Srigley Motorsports, Joseph Srigley, will lead a lap, and here comes rookie Keith Batson in the 73. Of course, two of their... Oh, wait, oh, never mind. Nope, don't listen to me. I thought I saw caution lights on, but nope, not the case. Some camera angles, it looks like the lights are yellow. Others, you can see them clearly green, and I made a little mistake right there. Srigley checks out a little bit now over the new second-place driver, Brandon Gonzalez. Here comes Cole Baker. Here comes Leon Alvarez. Here comes Kat Tellier. This is like watching a Talladega race, except it's under the lights and it's at 1.5 miles. Drivers falling to the back, moving to the front, falling to the back again, fighting back to the front. And we got a slower car up ahead. Well, actually, not a slower car. That's Jessica Shelton in the 02. John Cittadino, Davey Johnson are all back here as well. And I can only assume they may have already made pit stops. Is anybody else on pit road at this point? I'm not rightly sure. You got Voiles back here, Poteet's back here. Then there's a whole host of cars back here in a pack. Hartnett, Gardner, Miles, Dunham, Stoltz in his debut race, Baskinger, and outside pole sitter John Andrews. Then you got Davey Johnson back here, John Cittadino in 41st, who had to start at the rear of the field due to an engine change. And now Jessica Shelton has fallen off the lead lap. Don't think I saw anybody make contact and hit the wall or anything, but we have a new leader, Charles Sanford in the 03. I'm not rightly certain why these drivers are so far back. Sanford now going to put John Cittadino down a lap. So now two drivers are a lap down, and we're almost halfway through this race. Jessica Shelton and John Cittadino. But I don't know if they've already come to pit road and they'll cycle back around on the lead lap when the leaders pit, or what. I'm not really certain what's the deal with that. Speaking of fighting their way back to the front, how about the pole sitter Kyle Matthews now back up in the 3rd position? And here comes the drivers to pit road. And this may end up putting, oh, wow, Ryan Madden almost sideswiped Charles Sanford. And this might put Jessica Shelton and John Cittadino back on the lead lap. They may have pitted earlier than everybody else. Sanford's in. But here comes Poteet and those drivers. They did not pit, so we'll have to see. The lead cycles around now to Kyle Matthews. Michael Norman also stayed out. They'll probably be coming to pit road this time. Indeed, they are. Car I want to watch is that 02 of Shelton. No, she's coming to pit road, it looks like. So it might have been just a matter of not having draft, or I don't know what it is. Cittadino is also in. Those are two drivers that were off the lead lap. So I'm not rightly certain how both those drivers ended up being so slow that they fell a lap down, but it's obviously a tough break right there for those two. We're going to try and find the 03 of Charles Sanford. There he is. Look at Ryan Madden. He beat Charles Sanford into pit road, but not off pit road. And Sanford, I think, is going to cycle around as the leader again. Well, the one driver that we're going to have to look for is the 09 of Kyle Matthews. See where he comes out in relation to his teammate. Sanford crossing the line. Now we're looking for the bright blue Kings Island Chevrolet. There's Norman, who came in second of the second group of cars. Matthews is somewhere up ahead, I think. And I think Kyle Matthews may have gotten out ahead. Maybe not. Maybe Matthews had a slow stop. Actually, I think Kyle Matthews lost some spots on pit road. I think Sanford is going to cycle back around as the leader. Indeed, he is. Ryan Madden is now second. 3rd place is Michael Norman. 4th is Levi McIntyre. 5th, Dougie Shears. Then it's Michaels in 6th. 7th is Brandon Gonzalez. 8th is Keith Batson. 9th place is Chris Dodd. And there's Kyle Matthews. He lost some spots. He's now slipped back to 10th. 11th place now would be Kat Tellier. 12th, Dallas McIntosh. 13th, Cody Lamas. 14th, Daniel Voiles. 15th is JT Bryant. Then it's Zachary Fitzwater, Zach Flickinger, James Qualls, Anthony McCurry, and Carson Scott. That would be your top 20 after this cycle of pit stops. And now my calculations were a little bit off. I do not know for certain if these drivers can make it the rest of the way, and if not, with them pitting between laps, I think it was like lap 24 and 25, might have been 23 to 25, these drivers are going to be very, very close on fuel in the closing stages of this race. That extra lap, 51 laps, not 50 laps, could play havoc into who's going to make it the rest of the way and who isn't. Right now, though, Charles Sanford enjoying the view. This is a very familiar sight leading the way at a D-shaped mile-and-a-half racetrack. Think back 2 weeks ago to Atlanta. It was Sanford who took the checkered flag, and right now he's going to try and put rookie Davey Johnson making his debut here tonight in the Hershey's Cup Series. He'll put him a lap down. Davey, I believe, is running in the 40th position. Last car on the lead lap, no longer the case. Now Johnny Gardner is the last car on the lead lap. There's another car that I just noticed is now on the tail end of the lead lap. That's the 48 of Sean Galligan. Galligan was actually up near the top 5 when the green flag pit stops began, so something must have happened to the 48. There's Baskinger, John Andrews, Benjamin Miles. We saw them in that little pack at the tail end of the field. They're still back there. Right now scored, I believe it's 35th through 37th. Galligan 38th. Johnny Gardner right now, the last car on the lead lap, in 39th. And Charles Sanford's got company. Brandon Gonzalez, Levi McIntyre, Michael Norman, Dougie Shears have all caught back up now. So the top 5 are all separated with less than a second. I think Ryan Madden might also be in this group, along with Joshua Michaels. Top 7, about 9/10 of a second separating them. And out of those 7 drivers, 2 of them have already been to victory lane this season. Charles Sanford winning at Atlanta, Levi McIntyre in the 99 winning 1 week earlier than that at Las Vegas. Gonzalez, Norman, Shears, Michaels, and Madden all still looking for their first win of the season and looking for an opportunity at locking themselves up a spot in the chase for the championship this season, as Michael Norman now moves to 2nd place underneath of Brandon Gonzalez. And they're about to catch Johnny Gardner. Last car on the lead lap at this current point in time, but Texas Motor Speedway, it is very draft reliant. There's no doubt about that, and you can see with Johnny Gardner running all by himself, he's got no momentum. The field caught him very quickly, and now they're going to put him off the lead lap. It's going to get very interesting here in the closing stages, though, if these drivers are going to be short on fuel. They could be anywhere from 1 to 2 laps short on fuel. We could have a green flag pit stop finish out this race, which is not much of a surprise. It's pretty much what you kind of expect at these kind of mile-and-a-half racetracks. Top 3, single file. The Chevy of Sanford, the Mitsubishi Lancer of Gonzalez, the Ford of McIntyre. Then it's the Dodge Dart of Dougie Shears. Then the lap car of Davey Johnson, who actually just picked up a position, getting by Johnny Gardner, so moved the 46 car up to, I believe that's 39th place. And now Sanford and Levi McIntyre, a couple of former winners, going to go at it for the lead. Here comes Dougie Shears, of course, trying to get the redemption from what happened way back at the beginning of the season at Rockingham, UK, when he was leading. The engine died on him, and it was his teammate Zachary Fitzwater that picked up the victory as a result. Joshua Michaels, former winner last season at Pocono, trying to win his first race of this season. Michael Norman went winless last year, looking for his first win of his Hershey Cup Series career. And now Levi McIntyre finally finding the chink in the armor of Charles Sanford. Slips by on the inside line and moved the WWE Supercar Steak and Shake Ford to the top position. Right now there is a huge separation between 6th place on back to 7th. Right now 6th place is Joshua Michaels. And then, well, there was a gap. Not anymore. Cody Lamas is starting to slowly reel them in, as is Dallas McIntosh. Then here's a second group with Kat Tellier, Daniel Voiles, Chris Dodd, JT Bryant, Ryan Madden, Zachary Fitzwater, and there's the pole sitter Kyle Matthews. He's worked his way now back up into the 15th position. So still not a bad run for the points leader. And look at Cody Lamas. He caught the group and now he's going to work. He passed Cheers, Michaels, Sanford. He's already up to 4th. Keep in mind, in 2 races this season, Cody Lamas has finished bridesmaid, 2nd place. He's yet to win this year, and he wants to win more than anything. And he has caught up. He's got an opportunity here. Right now, he's in the 3rd position. Now going to get by the lap machine of Davey Johnson as Michael Norman battles Brandon Gonzalez for the lead. Look at that 78 car. That 78 car is strong. Man, look at him come. And there you see the 16 as well. Dallas McIntosh now in this group. We got a couple more players now for the battle for this win. And Cody Lamas to the lead in the Furniture Road Toyota. Cody Lamas finished bridesmaid at Rockingham, UK. He also finished bridesmaid, I believe it was at, I think it was at Atlanta to Charles Sanford. He does not want to finish 2nd place again. Both of those races, too, were races that he was leading near the closing stages and ended up getting passed. So he does not want history to repeat itself. Look how he's checked out on everybody else. That's a strong 78 car, and it's certainly showing itself here in the closing stages. Dougie Shears now moves to 2nd. There's Dallas McIntosh into 3rd. A great season continues for him, and now we got more players up here. Voiles, Fitzwater, Bryant, Kat Tellier, Chris Dodd. They're all caught back up. And I think Kyle Matthews is also catching back up as well. So what turned into about a 6-car pack at the front of the field is all of a sudden turned into about a 12-13 car free-for-all. Charles Sanford now moving by Dallas McIntosh for 2nd. McIntyre moving by for 3rd. Now in this lead pack, the 46 is not on the lead lap. We also have a driver on the tail end of the lead lap just up ahead that these leaders will catch before this race is over. 10 laps to go. 2 hands, 5 fingers on each hand being shown to the 78 of Cody Lamas, but still the big question of fuel remains. Will these drivers be able to make it to the checkered flag without having to come to pit road? Daniel Voiles has now moved up to 4th. Uh-oh, Dylan Young may be a roadblock there for these drivers. Nope, they're going to get by him. He was basing double wide there with Sean Galligan, but they're going to get by the 2 car, and now they'll go to work on the 48 of Galligan. So now that's a total, I believe, of 4 cars that are off the lead lap. Maybe 5. I think it's 5 cars off the lead lap. Now Galligan, Dylan Young, Johnny Gardner, John Cittadino, and Jessica Shelton. Cody Lamas continuing to lead, though, as I'm going to look here and see. Yes, indeed, 5 cars off the lead lap. Young, Davey Johnson, Johnny Gardner, John Cittadino, Jessica Shelton. They now have scored Galligan a lap down, so actually 6 cars. I had forgotten about the 46 being off the lead lap. Galligan now up to speed, though, as he's merged in with this group. Look at JT Bryant! Where'd the 22 come from? He's up to 4th now. Oh, and here we go! Pit stops in the closing stages. Sanford is in. Daniel Voiles is in. Side by side coming into pit road. They may have made a little bit of contact there. I'm not rightly sure. Trying to find the leader. Where's he at? Dylan Poteet's coming in this lap. There's the leader. Cody Lamas. Sean Galligan trying to get his lap back, and that may block Cody Lamas from getting to pit road if Lamas wanted to come in this lap. Not coming in, though. Is anybody coming in? Yes, they are. Here comes Levi McIntyre, Dallas McIntosh, Chris Dodd, Dougie Shears, and Joshua Michaels. They're coming in this lap. Cody Lamas staying out an extra lap. Remember, it's been these last lap green flag pit stops in 2 races that has killed Cody Lamas. He's lost the lead after them. Atlanta to Charles Sanford, Rockingham, UK to Zachary Fitzwater. Both times after the green flag pit stops, he came out as the leader. And now JT Bryant will follow Cody Lamas to pit road. Looks like Brandon Gonzalez will stay out to lead a lap. Oh, wait a minute. Davey Johnson, Kyle Matthews, I think they may have missed the commitment line. I don't know if they're going to get penalized or not, but they seem to have swung around the commitment cone. That may have cost them a shot at finishing in the top 10. We're looking at the current leader, Brandon Gonzalez, and the caution flag is out. The yellow flag is waving. Trouble apparently in turn 4, probably a byproduct of drivers trying to get to pit road. The leader is Brandon Gonzalez under our first caution of the evening, and he nearly wrecked Benjamin Miles. And this is going to change everything. Are Gonzalez, Tellier, Norman, the top 3, going to be able to clutch, or are they going to have to come to pit road this time? Pit road would be open, and Gonzalez is in. Cat Tellier is going to come in as well. Michael Norman, he is in. I'm not rightly sure, but all 3 of those drivers might not have just run out of fuel. I don't know. Who does the lead cycle around to, though, is the question. It might be Kyle Matthews. No, it would be Fitzwater. Fitzwater would be the leader, I think. No, he's a lap down. He scored a lap down, so wait a minute. Those 3 drivers who did not pit would end up being first, second, and third, and that now come to pit road. The 35 of Tellier, the 23 of Gonzalez, and the 3 of Norman. This race may end under caution. We may get a 1-lap shootout. Only time will tell, but for now, we're going to step aside, see what happened to bring out this caution, and then we'll come back and settle it all out. Actually, what we should do is actually watch this battle between Tellier. Gonzalez got off ahead of Tellier, but I think Norman may have gotten out ahead of Gonzalez. I don't know. We'll go back and replay that too. We're under caution for the first time here in the closing stages of this race. The race may end under caution, and we'll find out who will be the winner. Well, this starts with one of the dominant cars of the evening, Charles Sanford, who came to pit road at the time running in the 2nd position. Watch here. He had just made his pit stop. He did not want to come to pit road, but Flickinger did. Now, Flickinger was caught to the outside of the 03, and then watch right here. Flickinger tries to come down to pit road. He's not clear on Charles Sanford, hooks him in the right rear, and there they go up into the wall. Hard impact for both of those drivers, and that's what brought out that caution flag. I don't know if anybody else gets involved or not. We're going to stay on these 2 just for a moment to make sure nobody else plowed into them. But man, Flickinger at the time was running in 9th. He had yet to make a pit stop. Sanford was 33rd. He had just pitted. There's everybody trying to get to the inside line, and I think everybody's going to get by without hitting them. So basically a 2-car wreck right there. Just a byproduct of drivers pitting and drivers not pitting, just as I suspected, and that's what put us under the yellow flag. But a tough break there for 2 drivers who more than likely would have had pretty stellar finishes here tonight if this thing had cycled around with the green flag pit stops. And now we're on board the pit lane line to see the battle between Michael Norman, Brandon Gonzalez, and Cat Tellier off pit road. And Michael Norman clearly was the leader off of pit lane. Gonzalez and Tellier came out 2nd and 3rd. So if this thing does end under caution, Michael Norman should more than likely be the winner. Let's find out if that'll be the case. Let's go back live. The caution lights are still on, and Brandon Gonzalez is still scored as the leader, even though it was pretty clear Michael Norman beat him off of pit road. This is very, very interesting. NNSCRA officials are more than likely going to have to look this one over. This may be one of the most controversial finishes of the season. NNSCRA officials going to have to decide whether or not this win goes to Brandon Gonzalez or to Michael Norman, because Michael Norman clearly won the battle off of pit road. We got to figure out how NNSCRA scored this and why they have Brandon Gonzalez still shown as the leader. Yes, he came to pit road as the leader, but he did not leave pit road as the leader. But this is the white flag lap. The white flag has been displayed. Now the checkered flag will be displayed. But I don't know if we can officially say Brandon Gonzalez is the winner here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. The checkered flag will wave over his hood. He will, on the scoring, be the winner of this race. But this is going to be a very, very interesting finish here. I don't know. I do not know if officially Brandon Gonzalez is the winner. That is one of the most confusing finishes I have ever seen. We're going to have to look back at a couple of replays at that battle off pit road again to see if indeed Brandon Gonzalez is the winner of this race, or is it Michael Norman? Regardless, the race is going to end. Everybody else's finishes will remain the same, basically. Cat Tellier will more than likely finish the race out in the top 3, and then from 4th on down, that will not change. Fitzwater will finish 4th, Kyle Matthews, the pole sitter, 5th, Dougie Shears, Cody Lamas, Dallas McIntosh, JT Bryant, and Levi McIntyre. That'll be the top 10. As you look on down there, 2 drivers out of the race that brought out that caution that finishes this race under absolute controversy. Zach Flickinger, Charles Sanford. But now we are going to take a look at a lot of replays, so don't go away. Okay, this is really, really interesting. Watch here Brandon Gonzalez. Now, he has just already made his pit stop. Cat Tellier is about to complete her pit stop. Michael Norman also just about to complete his pit stop. Now, Brandon Gonzalez is coming down towards the exit of pit road. Apparently, he is being told he has to wait before he leaves the pit lane. Now, right there, that line that's slanted, that white line, that's where the lights are to tell you if you can leave pit road or not. Right now, it is red, telling him that he cannot merge back out onto the racetrack. Cat Tellier is going to come down here as well, and she is going to have to stop. They are waiting until the signal is green that allows them to leave pit road. Now, being lead lap cars, I'm actually surprised they had to wait for drivers that were on the tail end of the lead lap. They've now apparently been given the signal they can go. There's Michael Norman still maintaining the speed, and right there is the commitment cones. Norman crossed the line ahead of Brandon Gonzalez and Cat Tellier. However, Brandon Gonzalez, you could clearly see, was held on pit road. Watch back here again. Light is right there, is red. He cannot merge onto the track. Now there, it is green. They are able to go. Wow, this is maybe one of the most confusing finishes I have ever seen. Now, here would be my next question. Did Brandon Gonzalez cross the line before it turned green? It is not green yet. Still not green. Still not. It is now green. Gonzalez passed it, and it had not turned green. Tellier and Norman are clearly back behind it. I do not know how to call this. I really don't. I mean, officially scored, Brandon Gonzalez is the winner of this race, but it is such a confusing finish to me. I mean, right there, green light, Norman was clearly behind the green light, and right there, he clearly wins the race to the line coming off the pit lane. There is the double cones, the commitment cones, indicating the exit of pit lane. Gonzalez comes out second and Tellier comes out in third. I'm really confused. Now, the only other thing I can possibly think of, and there you see, the 35 made the commitment line. Did the 3 car make the commitment line? Yes, he did, barely. Boy, I am really confused. Really, really confused. I've never had a race finish like this before, where the question in my mind is, did the winner of the race on paper really win the race? There you see, the green light is on. Norman and Tellier did not cross. Gonzalez did. I do not know. I do not know. Obviously, we have to go with the way the scoring is, which means Brandon Gonzalez will be the winner of this race, but maybe one of the most controversial finishes. I'm certain that 3 team's going to have something to say about it, thinking they should have won this race, but my goodness. Unbelievable. This is definitely, I don't think I can remember having a race where the winner of the race was in doubt of whether or not he truly was the winner. Regardless, though, Brandon Gonzalez, Mitsubishi Lancer, they'll get their first win of the season. That locks themselves up a spot in the chase. Kat Tellier will get scored in second. What a debut race for that driver. First start of her career and a runner-up finish. Very close to being able to get a win. Michael Norman, he'll have to settle for third place officially, but boy, that's probably going to light a fire under that 3-team. Fitzwater will finish a lap down after that late race caution really messed it up with the green flag pit stops, but he'll still get a top 5 in 4th. Pole sitter Kyle Matthews will be 5th. Dougie Shears will be 6th. Cody Lamas in 7th. That undoubtedly will put the points lead very close still between himself and Kyle Matthews. I think now the points lead is going to be something like 7 points between the 09 and the 78. Dallas McIntosh, his brilliant season continues as he gets 8th. JT Bryant and Levi McIntyre, a couple of teammates out of Young Motorsports, will finish in 9th and 10th. Look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, and there you see drivers who actually officially finished the race off the lead lap. If we had not had that whole caution flag come out when it did, there would have been cars like Aaron Henderson, John Andrews, Sean Galligan, Trent Dunham, Davey Johnson, Jessica Shelton, and Johnny Gardner. And then Zach Flickinger and Charles Sanford, who brought out that caution, finished out of the race in 41st and 42nd place. So now Brandon Gonzalez joins the other 5 drivers as a driver locked up in this season's chase for the championship in one of the 16 available spots. We'll see what the point standings look like after this race, as well as the rookie points. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you enjoyed this race, if you enjoyed this controversy, give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. Put down in the comments who you think should have been the winner of this race without spoiling it, please, so that way people do not know who won the race. But let me know what your opinion was. Put down in the comments either if you think first place should have won or third place should have won. Don't give names, don't give numbers. But let me know what your opinion is on this, because I still am very, very confused. Still have mixed feelings about who I think would have been the winner of this race. But and in 2003 is the way they scored it, it's the way it's going to be. So again, thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.